You young folks aren't going to understand this, but there was a time when teenagers didn't care about politics. They stayed out of it for the most part. For the most part. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nev from Nev's Tech Bits. Don't worry, ma'am, I come from the internet. The internet has changed the world quite a bit in remarkable ways. We are connected more than we've ever been connected before. We have cliques, we have groups, we identify as this, that, or the other thing, as being part of something. And no longer are we just happy being entertained and at home and doing something. These days, media has gotten into us so much that we have a call to action for all of us. Something I learned in media class. That's what you want to do. You want to get people up. You want to make them do something. You want to get them excited. You want to get them going against something. Look on YouTube for a news report from the 80s. And what you're going to find is a boring man talking about boring things with probably boring graphics behind it. Their job was to give you the news without putting a spin on it and without giving you your thoughts, how you should think about it. Now, I understand that this seems to only be something that came around from maybe the 60s to the 80s, because if you look back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, you definitely had newspapers that were one way or the other way. You know what? Perhaps they were always that way. Maybe I'm just thinking of my Canadian stuff, but these days, when I'm watching CNN and when I'm watching Fox, jeez, CNN is like Communist News Network, and Fox, don't even get me started on Fox, right? This isn't news, this is news entertainment on both freaking sides. Now, that's just the cable TV, and the kids these days aren't watching cable TV. Here's the thing, once again, when I was a teenager, we didn't care about social stuff. Like some of us progressives, you get some progressives that really cared and they hyper knew everything and they thought they were super intelligent and they seem pretty intelligent, but they didn't get into everything the way that we do these days. They weren't so hypersensitive to everything the way that we are these days. And these days, it definitely seems like the economy and politics is every freaking part of us. It's as if you don't have ideals, views, and whatnot about this stuff, then you are like a bad person, a shut in. I don't know, all of the above, just some of the above. But it's remarkable these days how the kids are just so they know politics. They know, of course, they know the topical politics. Which one of us actually know true politics? I was a young liberal, and I got to see a lot of the tricks that go on. And I'm sure everybody knows about this stuff, but the kids might not. In politics, there's a lot of shitty games that get played. And a lot of times, politicians only do things for the people they know that they like or that they like to hang out with. Around here, we got Rob Ford, who definitely likes to listen to his friends because his friends are the powerful people. He's friends with the powerful people. And because of that, he finds out what the powerful people need under the idea that if you simply listen to them, then everybody else will get what they need from a trickle down effect. Kind of like, what is it called, a golden shower? And that doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. So I was part of the Young Liberals, and when we were part of the Young Liberals, I heard about some of the sketchy things that went on, and I was actually part of some of the sketchy things that went on. My brother wanted to be the president of the Young Liberals, so he got a whole bunch of his friends to sign up for the first day. For the first day, cost $5. He paid for it, and he literally bought votes with that. And because of that, he became the leader of the Young Liberals in our area, which he basically lost his money because there was no way any liberal candidate was going to come into the Elora area. Kitchener Waterloo, maybe is about as close as you got, but anywhere north of that is pretty much the Potter's ground, and they were not going to come that far north. But yeah, he paid, he got his spot, but the fact is, he got his spot by paying for it. And we all know all the games that people play and all the. And when information gets spun and stuff like that, when you get older, it's just. It's just interesting, is all. But the kids, with the social media, with the TikTok, and with all this stuff, it's amazing. It's amazing how into everything everybody is. And I didn't even realize it until I heard this guy from the Appalachians talking about how all of his kids went off to school and came back homosexual. It's like a popular fad. Maybe it's still going on. It definitely was. But just the look on this guy's face, just the look on this guy's face when he's like, what are the freaking odds that all three kids are gay? I don't know. Maybe it's something in the water up there. Not for me to judge or whatnot. Gender dysphoria is definitely a thing. You definitely get your flamboyant and your fabulous. You definitely get those. But I honestly have to wonder how many of these individuals are going to be gay till graduation, which is also a thing, especially with women in university, gay until graduation, and then things change. Well, hey, even spaghetti is straight until it gets wet, right? I'm sorry. Excuse me, but social media is getting to us more than even cable TV did. Now, when I was little, your family had to be doing pretty good in order for you to get cable TV. And if you didn't get cable TV, in my area, you had what was called the Farmers 3, which was 3 channels that you got. Generally, it was Global, the New VR, and TVO. I got one of those wrong. The New VR was just a part, whatever. Anyways, you also got French TVO. In the city, you might have got 5 or 6 channels. And that was how we got all of our information. Otherwise, it was just us in our little areas. And then all of a sudden, social media comes around. We get Wi-Fi. Okay, so we had social media, but then we had Wi-Fi, and then we had phones that accepted Wi-Fi. It's only been within the last 15 years that we had phones that all took Wi-Fi. I remember this BlackBerry phone coming out that did not have Wi-Fi. It did not have Wi-Fi, and that blew me away. It was a BlackBerry. Like, why wouldn't you? Anyways, moving on. By the time Wi-Fi N came, it was A, B, G, N, then AC, then AX, then AEX, I think it is. But by the time that the X band, or sorry, the N band came around, everyone seemed to have a cell phone that had information from the world that they were sending directly to you. And once that started happening, politics started getting popular. You didn't have to be an activist in order to get onto this stuff. And politics start more and more becoming entertainment. Everyone wanted to be entertained. Everyone wanted information directly to them. Everyone wanted big emotions. Everyone wanted to be outraged, happy, angry, terrified. Now, here's something we don't like looking at when it comes to ourselves. We love being terrified. There were a lot of people that just love being terrified. And because of that, slasher movies, horror movies, back in the day, those were really big deals. These days, a lot of those slasher horror movies are nothing. Okay, Friday the 13th one is pretty much PG-13 by today's standards. But back then, that was a really freaking big deal. The TVs that we had were kind of blurry and kind of grainy. But if we had the ability to view everything in widescreen and 4K back then, we wouldn't have been half as scared. But anyways, we wanted to be scared. We wanted to be thrilled, thriller, right? We all wanted that. And now we have these phones that can get us this media in damn near 4K frickin' instantly. We got Wi-Fi. We got cellular. We got all kinds of places trying to jump on our emotions and trying to feed us stuff. Now, there's very little that will thrill us more than reality, but reality can really be made up one way or the other. and people can manufacture reality, especially now that AI is around. So these days, politics is freaking everywhere, and it's not good. Kids need to be kids. Kids need to be kids as long as they can, because being an adult is freaking horrifying. It is absolutely horrifying, and we should let our kids be kids. But it seems like as time goes on, kids are growing up too quick. Kids have too much access to social media. We have edgy parents wanting their kids to get into things too quick. We have too many parents that are letting their kids drink and get into politics just way too damn soon. Way too damn soon. Now, because of this, everybody is choosing a side. And of course, the young people always go progressive, or at least for the most part. It's not happening so much anymore. It definitely seems like a lot of young people feel like their lives have been hijacked and they're going a little bit more towards the right. But here's the thing, I just don't think people should care about this stuff until they're like 17, until they're like 18. It just seems like we're wasting youth. It seems like we're making people grow up too quick, and it's terrifying. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to go back to a time when teenagers weren't activists for the most part. Like, you'd get a few. You'd get a few. Like for the Vietnam thing, yeah, but for the most part, a lot of the people fighting that were they were seniors in high school or they were in university. A lot of the protests that we've seen for the Vietnam Korea stuff, like the flower and the rifle, those were university students. And now it seems like we're getting kids indoctrinated as young as like grade 3 and 4, because of the advent of information and the advent of outrage, big emotions, and the inability to find a common ground. If you can't find a common ground, you get outraged. It's just how it goes, and it sucks, and I hate it. I hate that it's like this. And I hope that we'll have a time soon where it isn't this way. I really hope we have a time soon where it really isn't this way. But I'm going to have to wait and see. I'm going to have to wait and see. I don't know what the future holds, but all I know for sure is I wish kids weren't as inundated with politics as they are right now. And I wish we lived in a time when people were allowed to have a difference of opinion. Because I don't see that happening. I don't think people are allowed to have difference of opinion anymore, which is unfortunate. Which is unfortunate. But then again, when you look at Donald Trump, how easy is it to be? How easy is it to be middle of the road with Donald Trump? Seriously, I mean, he really loved Reagan, right? And wasn't Reagan a TV guy? He came from Reaganomics. Is Trump the first true businessman that's been in politics? I mean, I like some of his ideas, and other ones are just way over the rainbow. Just crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin with him. I don't even know where to begin with him. But I'll tell you one thing: if I have a friend that really likes Trump, I have conversations with him. I don't just throw him out and be like, okay, you like Donald Trump, you're a bad person, you're going to hell, or you're going to, wherever, and I hate you forever, and we can't be friends. No, we just can't be friends. Back in the day, we were just like, okay, we're not going to talk about politics. Let's talk about something else. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. And that's heartbreaking. I think we're more divisive than we've ever been before. And I definitely think that the internet has something to do with it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me. Nev from NevsTech. Let your kids be kids. And have a good one.